Mr. Chairman Ivanic, distinguished guests, representatives of the Association for Promotion of Controlling Entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank Chairman Ivanic for his personal interest in this particular topic, especially in these days when he has much on his desk. So it's a great pleasure to be part of this event and to be able to say a few words on behalf of the Netherlands government. In my country, social entrepreneurship has become an important topic in the never-ending discussion we have about the future and the character of our economy and indeed of our society as a whole. And I think that it should become an important topic in Bosnia and Herzegovina as well. But after all, 2 years and a day ago, on 23rd of February 2015, all political parties and all political leaders in this country agreed in writing to commit themselves, irrevocably no less, to implement the necessary reforms in order to prepare Bosnia and Herzegovina for future membership in the EU. And they put their signature under the promise that the institutions of the government of Bosnia and Herzegovina agreed, and I quote, to develop and implement a program of measurable initial reform measures to include social and economic reforms. All this with the aim of fostering sustainable, efficient, socially just and steady economic growth, creating new jobs, more appropriately targeting social assistance, and creating a favorable and just social environment. Again, this is what the text of the written commitment says. And I think this conference about social entrepreneurship in Bosnia and Herzegovina is well timed. It is the right place and the right time to recall this important commitment all political parties and institutions in this land made 2 years ago. And after adopting an ambitious agenda for reform, the governments made significant, be it mainly paper progress, as new legislation, guidelines and strategies reforms aimed at restructuring fiscal, financial and labor relations was adopted. And now it's time to proceed to the next step of the reform agenda and to tackle fundamental issues like an overhaul of the social security system, making the large public sector more cost effective and remodeling the system of taxation. And in this phase, remembering the promises of the written commitments, social inequalities in Bosnia and Herzegovina need to be addressed. Improving access to jobs, eliminating the unfair competition by the grey economy and state-owned enterprises, with the aim to make the private sector the primary source of new jobs and making it a more attractive workplace. As Chairman Ivanic said, Bosnia's youth deserves it. And to achieve this, a favorable social environment should be created, focusing on poverty reduction and combating social exclusion. And Bosnia and Herzegovina, in my opinion, is in need of an environment that allows the introduction of new mechanisms, such as a regulatory legal framework for social entrepreneurship, a framework that encourages free entrepreneurial initiative that is not limited to commercial markets alone. Social entrepreneurship as an instrument is recognized and embraced by many EU member states. More and more, and especially in these times of rising populism, fears of the negative effects of globalization and the excesses of a market economy considered too liberal by many, taking into consideration the economic priorities of those parts of the population that need it most, your fellow citizens that are experiencing social exclusion, is seen as an imperative to most governments now. And the Netherlands is pleased that it was able to support ICV, the Association for Promotion of Controlling, to analyze which changes to national legislation are required to establish an environment that encourages social entrepreneurship. And I hope that this event draws the attention of decision makers to the changes needed in policy and in legislation to establish an environment that is conducive for sustainable and inclusive economic development of this country that is so full of still unlocked potential. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end with another quote, this time from a pioneer of social entrepreneurship in the Netherlands. Because he said, "The crucial point of distinguishing between a traditional enterprise and a social one is the challenge they aim to tackle. A social entrepreneur wants to leave the world a little better than when it was when he found it." I wish you all a very instructive and useful conference. Thank you very much.